Hey everybody, today I'm going to be using this thrifted pumpkin and we're going to be doing our club transfer on this pumpkin. This one was at my local thrift store for $3.99 and so I picked it up because I thought it would be perfect for a background for our club transfer this month. This month, our club transfer, you'll get the 3 coordinating paste as usual. I don't get those as a designer, so I can't show you those, but I do have the transfer. It is super cute. And then this month and every month from now on, you will get a surface to go along with your transfer. So this month we got the pumpkin. So it is reusable. You can chalk it and clean it off and redo it. I'm going to be attaching it with glue today, so I won't be able to do that unless I feel like prying it off of my board. But this is super cute. So today we're going to be using some pastes from Chalk Couture. It was trying to get away from me there. And I'm using several colors to paint my pumpkin to begin with. So this one is saffron. It's one of our newer pastes. Then I have shimmer gold. Next I have pumpkin, hey pumpkin. This is dune. And then I have papaya, which is one of our older colors, but I love it. So those are what I'm going to be using to paint. And I started with dune here. I'm going to paint the whole pumpkin with this dune color as a background and make sure I get that L really covered up because of course we don't want an L on our pumpkin, right? So I cover it and I dry it really well, and I do a little bit more around where the L is, where you can see it in some other places, and then I go in with my other colors. Here you see me putting on saffron. This is one of my favorite colors. And then I'm adding in the Hey Pumpkin in different areas. I wanted this to be really colorful and bright. And then the papaya gives it that darker pumpkin color and kind of details it a bit. Then I went over it with the shimmer gold, and you can see that it gives it just the right metallic look that I was looking for. I blend those colors while I dry it really well, and then I'll take my Gator sander and I'll sand over it just a little bit, not too much. I don't want to get any of that color off of there. I just kind of want to blend in certain areas. Now this is our chalk suede paper, and you can get this in my shop. I'm going to put the blue ribbon on here off of our transfer. I'm going to fuzz it really well before putting it on there, and then I'm going to just do the ribbon, and then I'm going to cut that out. We will use the rest of the transfer, but we're going to use that directly on our pumpkin and on our little pumpkin. So there's the ribbon. I'm going to set that over to the side, and I'm going to get my little pumpkin from Chalk Couture, and we're going to use dune just to make an outline so that I know exactly where I want to paint my colors. So it looks pretty just like that to me, but we're going to dry that up, and we're just going to paint the leaves with the green, and we're going to paint the stem and then the pumpkin. And then we're going to use the transfer to go back over it in black, and you're going to be amazed at the detail that you get from doing this. It's kind of like you're just watercoloring. You can add water to these pastes and make it thinner, but I just went on with my paste just as is. I'm adding a little bit of the papaya so that I can do some darker places. Then I decided to take the shimmer gold and add it to the stem. Now I'm drying it, and we're going to go over it with the transfer. I didn't clean it or anything. I'm going to use black, and it's going to give the perfect outline. Look how beautiful. So much detail in these transfers. So now I'm just cutting out my ribbon a little bit better, a little closer, so there's not so much white, and I'm attaching it with some glue to my little pumpkin so that it can be the prize pumpkin. Now I'm just going to chalk with white and black the wording that's on our transfer. It says County Fair and a few other words, but I'm using white and black so it stands out really well. And I'm going to chalk that on, and then I'm going to use some blue and white for the little flags, because the way the transfer is set up, that ribbon makes it look like this is off, and I didn't take that into account. So I wanted to be able to add something there to make it you know, even looking. So I added the little flags in blue, and then I decided to add some taller ones in white, and I think it turned out super cute. Giving it a good dry, and then I'm going to get some glue and attach my little pumpkin on. Then I decided that we needed to put some little outlines. I couldn't find my white marker. I wanted to really use white or black, but I found a gold one and I really like the way it turned out. I did the outlines of the pumpkin and I did some little dots, and then dried it really well. Went over it again because it just didn't seem like it was standing out good enough, and then I decided I needed to add something to the stem since I really didn't do anything to it. It's just like it was. So I added some of the gold outline. I tried to use the white and the black that I had there and they weren't working, so the gold worked out just fine. And then I decided I want to add some ink. At first I tried this archival ink and I didn't like it, so I got out some of the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide in Forest Moss, and I just used that all around the edges. I put some on the stem, and then I decided I needed some on the front around the edges too to kind of frame it out. Then I added some to the white on the other little pumpkin because I thought it stood out a little too much, and that made it super cute. Now I'm making a ribbon. These ribbons were on this pumpkin when I got it. So I'm just cutting them up smaller to make a cuter bow that I like. The bow that came on this pumpkin was pretty flat and raggedy, so I am just cutting them smaller and making a smaller bow and more of a messy bow. So I'm doing that. I'm tying it up with some twine, and then I will attach it to the top, just underneath the stem. It's kind of over to the side just to give it a little bit of a balance. If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. Here is the finished project. I hope that you like it, and I hope you'll join Club Couture because it is amazing. And if you are interested, just let me know. Have a great day.